This week I bought a poetry collection by Sharon Olds called Stag's Leap, and I want to read a poem from it. I decided to buy some poetry because I got a £10 Waterstones voucher, and because we've been talking about poetry a lot on the Right View Life podcast the last couple of weeks. I decided to go for Stag's Leap because on the front it says that it's the 2013 Pulitzer Prize winner, and it won the T.S. Eliot Prize in 2012. This basically means it should be really rather good. But you never know with poetry. Sometimes I find that things that I'm supposed to like, I don't, and then other stuff I really like and maybe I'm not supposed to. Anyway, that doesn't matter because I'm about 7 or 8 poems in and I absolutely love this collection. And the poem Last Look was so good that I almost wept a little tear or two in Costa Coffee, which could have been very embarrassing. Anyway, I don't know what the issue is on copyright, but the point of this video is to get you to go out and buy Stag's Leap, or to at least check out Sharon Olds' vast back catalogue of work. Last look. In the last minutes of our marriage, I looked into his eyes. All that day until then, I had been comforting him for the shock he was in at his pain. The act of leaving me took him back to his own early losses. But now it was time to go beyond comfort, to part. And his eyes seemed to me still like the first ocean, wherein the blue-green algae came into their early language. His sea-wide iris still essential, for me, with the depths in which our firstborn, and then our second, had turned, on the sides of their tongues, the taste buds for the moon-bland nectar of our milk. Our milk. In his gaze, rooms of the dead, halls of loss, fog emerald, driven, dirty rice snow. He was in there somewhere. I looked for him, and he gave me the gift. He let me in, knowing that he never once, not in this world or any other, would have to do it again. And I saw him, not as he really was. I was still without the strength of anger, but I saw him see me, even now that dropping down into trust's affection in his gaze. And I held it, some seconds, quiet, and I said, "Goodbye." And he said, "Goodbye." And I closed my eyes and rose up out of the passenger seat in a spiral like someone coming up out of a car gone off a bridge into deep water. And 2 and 3 Septembers later, and even the September after that September in New York, I was glad I had looked at him. And when I told a friend how glad I'd been, she said, "Maybe it's like with families of the dead. Even the families of those who died in the towers that need to see the body, no longer inhabited by what made them the one we loved. Somehow it helps to say goodbye to the actual." And I saw, again, how blessed my life had been. First, to have been able to love, then to have the parting now behind me, and not to have lost him when the kids were young, and the kids now not at all to have lost him, and not to have lost him when he loved me, and not to have lost someone who could have loved me for life. And that's it, ace poem, taken from the collection Stag's Leap by Sharon Olds. And if you like this sort of thing, me reading other stuff by other people, then let me know and maybe I'll read some more. Maybe it's time I started asking people to subscribe to this sort of nonsense. You should subscribe to this nonsense. Honestly, you should subscribe. It's really good. Brilliant. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel.